let's talk about Bakuman and the price of dreams. Now, we covered Death Note in our last video, so Bakuman is naturally next. Get it? Okay, jokes aside. Bakuman is a classic. It is a very unique manga that is just simply charming. I personally love Bakuman and will suggest it to anyone, weeb or not. In fact, I convinced my brother, who doesn't read manga at all, to read it after he read Death Note, and he loved it. For those unfamiliar, Bakuman is a story written and illustrated by the creators of Death Note, Takeshi Obata and Sugumi Oba. It is kind of autobiographical and there's a lot to talk in terms of the references to their real lives, but we're here to talk about a different topic. So, Bakuman. Spoilers ahead, so please make sure you read the whole series before coming back here. You will not regret it. Not regret reading the manga. But coming back to the video, because the video is pretty good, I'd say. Bakuman talks a lot about different topics ranging from dreams to love of manga. We're going to talk about the dreams aspect of things in this episode. Bakuman teaches us the importance and the price of dreams in our lives. At first, we'll get a little mushy. What are dreams? Are they important? Well, of course. A dream is what keeps you going. It motivates you to do something. It gives you purpose. It makes you feel energized and young. It saves you from the existential dread of not knowing why we exist on this earth. Okay, that last line wasn't too mushy. It is the truth though. It's true that dreams are very important though. It can really give you some direction in life. Dreams can also be anything. While being CEO of a company or starting your own company is a great dream to have, so is being a good parent or a good spouse. So is wanting to teach someone something or being a person that your loved ones can rely on. So dreams often end up adding to your identity. That in itself might not be a good thing though. For example, we don't call ourselves YouTubers or podcasters even though we have a podcast, We 101 Podcast. Damn, that was smooth. Check it out. Dreams are what you make of them, and we are usually encouraged to dream big and dream about things that are important to us. As a child, I dreamed of 100 different things that I'm sure every child dreamed of. I wanted to be a musician in a band. A few guitar classes later, I realized I really suck at guitar. And then I wanted to be an author and never finished my book. Now I want to be a content creator and that seems to be going great. Right? Right? God damn it. I also wanted to be a chef, a gamer, a branding expert, a creative director in an ad agency. There's a lot that everyone wants to do, but that changes as time goes on. In Bakuman, there are two main characters who we see all the time, Mashiro and Takagi. Together, they're known as Ashirogi Muto, but they weren't always like that. Mashiro seems to be done with life at a very young age and just wants to go through the motions without any happiness or enjoyment in his experience. He constantly doodles and reads manga, so his passion isn't dead. It's just muted for some reason. Takagi is a guy who tops the class in exam scores and he doesn't seem to be someone who wants to do anything crazy in life. He is guaranteed a good college and a bright future ahead of him. Takagi is anything but that though. Takagi really wants to be an author for manga specifically. He wants to create manga. He sees Mashiro's drawings and decides that Mashiro would be the one he draws a manga with. Love at first sight. Mashiro is weirded out, but he eventually comes around to it and the two decide to submit a manga to Shonen Jump. A special interest here for Mashiro is Miho, his love interest. Wait. I thought we weren't focusing on the relationships in this episode? Yes, we aren't. It just so happens this particular couple just relate to the dream directly. Mashiro and Miho make a deal where they will not be romantically involved or even see each other until Mashiro becomes an established mangaka with an anime and Miho becomes a famous voice actress who voices a character in the anime. They both like each other, but they also want to focus on their dreams. One dream is to be together and the other one is professional achievements. This helps them lay down a path and be directed while they're on it. So Mashiro and Takagi form Ashirogi Muto after learning about the process of publishing a manga. Hold on again, why is this video called The Price of Dreams? Glad you asked. Let's talk about the flip side. Mashiro's uncle was a mangaka too and encouraged Mashiro to draw more. Unfortunately, he died due to overworking and Mashiro just assumed he had killed himself after his manga plans failed. It is later revealed that Mashiro's uncle was a very mentally strong person who carried the Japanese samurai spirit in manga and literally died making manga. He had a very popular gag manga which got an anime, but after that he seems to have become a failure. Mashiro's uncle was also in love with a woman who happens to be Miho's mother. In a similar situation, Nobuhiro Mashiro, the uncle, wants to confess his love for Miho's mother, Miyuki, but only wants to do so after reaching a dream of his. This leads to a game of toxicity where Miyuki gets promoted in the offices she works in, but Nobuhiro never feels like he's good enough to confess to her. Miyuki later finds love in another man, making Nobuhiro's journey a fruitless one. He still never gives up on his manga dream though. Here's where the first price of dreams comes in. Nobuhiro applied his dreams to his life for no apparent reason. He forgave happiness and love in exchange for a fervent dream of getting a popular anime. He couldn't accept life as it was and demanded that he be sufficient for the person that he loves. The irony is that Miyuki would have been happy with him either way, and as is shown in Takagi's life later, might have even given him the motivation that he needed to do the job better. Nobuhiro is remembered as a hard worker who was passionate and kind. His family grieves for him, but they deeply respect everything he did. You know what would be better for his family though? Having him alive! I'm just clarifying that I'm not against the idea of going off to search for a dream or that might just end up consuming you and make you obsessed. I'm just pointing out that things just could have been. Takagi is another example of the price of dreams. Takagi's father was a banker who was relatively successful, and all of a sudden he gets fired from his job. Not much is known about his father and what happened, but Takagi's mother gets really broken and bitter and starts forcing Takagi to study well and get into a college and then get into banking and take revenge for his father. This is obviously not well received by young Takagi. Takagi's mother used to cry and keep telling him to avenge his father's job, and it gets worse and worse until Takagi finally snaps. He pushes back his mother and shouts that it's his life and he'd like to do what he wants to. This seems to work and he goes ahead with his life. It is implied that his mother isn't happy with his decision to write manga stories, but he does mention that she'll be happy as long as he gets into a decent university. We're led to believe that she still expects Takagi to do certain things, but is also keeping some distance. Now, there is the possibility that Takagi's father died or committed suicide, as he's never mentioned or shown even in prominent events like Takagi and Kaya's wedding, so we're not really sure what exactly happens to him, but him being dead makes sense with the emotion shown by Takagi's mother. Also, Takuro Nakai is our next example. Nakai is a bit of a weird one, but one that a lot of us can probably relate to. Unlike the characters so far, Nakai is skilled but unlucky or doesn't work hard enough. He's a skilled artist, but he hasn't gotten a break yet. He's considered a master at things like backgrounds, and he plays with tone sheets and making texture, sound effects, and even all kinds of backgrounds. He seems to be bad with stories though, and he can't come up with one whole manga on his own. He just seems really unlucky. Psych! Okay, you shouldn't empathize with Naka too much. It is clear that the man is sleazy and hits on any woman who so much as looks at him. He doesn't really think with his head and thinks with his heart instead. He prefers a chance to talk to a woman whom he might never have a chance with over a chance to create manga. Nakai still had dreams of being a mangaka though, and his price to pay was his life was going down the drain due to him being a terrible person and having no discipline at all. Mashiro is our final example, and this one seems to be a common occurrence in Japan. Mashiro's dream is initially nothing. He just doesn't want to do anything. His passion is then revitalized after Takagi pokes and prods him in all the right places. What? Okay, after he's on board with the manga idea, Mashiro becomes obsessed with improving his drawing and doing things better. He's good at it too, and he keeps improving and he keeps coming up with new ideas for their manga, and eventually he collapses. He collapses and he's in the hospital and he cannot draw. His doctor actually forbids him from drawing and refuses to let him face any stress at all. This leads to the manga going on hiatus. And manga is a format where every week matters. This might as well have been a death sentence to the manga he was creating. So silly, you might think. Take care of your health, bro. It's something I've heard people say to others a lot, but it's rarely that easy. Firstly, if your competition is sleeping 3 hours a night and they're outputting more work than you, it's going to be hard to not do the same. It's a competition and you have to win, or that's what people say. Even if there is no competition with someone, there are tight deadlines and budget problems that need to be handled. Just off the top of my head, Tite Kubo suffered from mental illnesses while going through Bleach due to the pressure of his work. Oda never used to take breaks until he got a health scare and then made it a practice to take multiple breaks a year. Hideaki Anno was in a terrible mental state and wanted to commit suicide due to online hate and bullying. Hajime no Ippo, Hunter x Hunter, D. Grey Man, and a lot more manga that I've probably never even heard of have authors who fight health problems due to stress. Recently, even Jujutsu Kaisen went on hiatus due to health reasons. So, these are the examples of the price of dreams. At the end of the day, let me ask you, what is your dream? Is it worth sacrificing everything to reach it? Or would you rather have smaller goals which give you more room to experience life? I think both are really important and equally important. But let us know your thoughts in the comments down below, as that's it for this episode. If you liked it, please do leave a like, it'll help us out a lot, and we will be back next week with more analysis.